Next, this is also very, very basic and important: sensible and latent heat. So first of all, I'll give you the idea why this is important, so that you can get the interest and we can try to understand this type of heat. So why this sensible latent is important? Remember, at the time of load calculation, when we deal with the different sources of heat gain or heat loss, heat gain in summer and heat loss in winter, first we'll find out the different sources of heat gain or heat loss as per the requirement. For example, at this level, I take example of cooling system in summer. So in cooling system for summer, we are interested to calculate heat gain. And for heat gain, we'll find out the sources first. I'll give you a few example. We have a list in chapter 7 in detail. At this level, just for example, heat gain through wall is one source. Heat gain through glass, nothing but window, or heat gain through partition, floor, ceiling, or ventilation, infiltration. Like this, you'll have people, lighting, appliances. We have a complete list. So remember, at the time when we deal with the heat gain through these different sources, first you must know that heat gain is only sensible or sensible plus latent. According to that, we have a formulas. For example, heat gain through wall. Remember, it's only sensible. But what is sensible, we have not discussed yet. We'll discuss, don't worry. Just I'm trying to give the importance of this topic. Similarly, heat gain through ventilation is not just sensible. It's a sensible plus latent. Okay, because the moisture also involved in that. Similarly, heat gain through people is a sensible plus latent. So what is exactly the sensible latent? We'll discuss now. First of all, some theory. You see, sensible heat refers to what? Heat energy that causes change in temperature of a substance without changing its state. Remember, adding or extracting the heat without change in phase is a sensible heat. For example, if we take a container filled with water and adding the heat, so what will happen?
Starts to boil.
It will start to boil, but after some time, no? Not quickly. Starting, for example, this is at 0 degrees centigrade. Sorry, 0 degrees centigrade. So it will increase the temperature to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to what? Up to 100. Then at 100, it start changing its phase. So heat, adding heat from say 0 degree to 100 degree is what? Without changing its phase, na? It's a sensible heat. Or reverse. For example, this water at 99 degrees centigrade and I'm extracting the heat from 99 to 0 without changing a phase. Is a sensible, right? So simple. Sensible is what? Adding or extracting the heat without changing its state with the same condition. Okay, for example, ice at say minus 10 degrees centigrade. Suppose this ice at minus 10 degrees centigrade. I'm adding the heat. So what will happen? Yes, online?
Temperature will increase.
Just temperature will increase, it will not start melting. When it will start melting? At when the temperature is to 0 degrees centigrade. So minus 10 to say minus 9, adding the heat. That heat is what?
Sensible.
Sensible. Simple, right? It can be solid, it can be liquid, or it can be in vapor. Suppose vapor means above 100 degrees centigrade and adding the heat. So the vapor in the vapor only, and it will increase the heat to say 101, 102, etc. So again, that is a sensible. So remember, adding or extracting the heat without change in phase is called a sensible heat. For example, heat gain through wall from outside to inside. Is there any change in phase? Or is there any moisture traveling from outside to inside? No. So we can consider the heat gain through wall. I'm just talking about the application side. The heat gain through wall is what? Only sensible. But if the heat... Okay, so next we'll talk about latent, then we'll take more example. Let me quickly complete this theory. So you see, sensible heat refers to the heat that causes a change in temperature of a substance without changing its state. In other words, it's a heat energy that can be felt or sensed in general, as it leads to a noticeable change in the substance temperature. Okay. So when the sensible heat is added to a metal, its temperature increases, and when sensible heat is removed, the metal temperature decreases. Sensible heat transfer is common in every situation, such as when you feel warm of sunlight or the skin, or a colder on a breeze, etc. Just a feeling, sensible feeling without any change in phase. We are not getting the sweat. Just we are feeling hot or cold without any getting sweat. So if involved in moisture or change of phase means that comes under the next latent. We'll discuss. Let me complete the sensible first. So if you talk about sensible, we have this equation Q equal to mCp delta T. We'll use at the time of calculation. This is a very general formula. Later at the time of calculation, you'll find UA delta T, some modified formulas, but this is a general formula mCp delta T. So here Q is a sensible heat in this case because we are talking about sensible. Say BTU, or it can be joules or kilojoules. M is the mass of the substance. In case of say flow rate of air, we are using CFM, or in case of any solid, say pound or kg. C is a specific heat of that substance. And remember, the specific heat of the substance depend from substance to substance. Specific heat of water is different compared with the air, or the specific heat of milk is different compared with any other fluid. Okay, so that you'll get from the table. And delta T is a change in temperature from the two side of that body. Okay, so just remember this formula. When we deal with the load calculation, you'll find the modified formulas and we'll discuss with more detail. At this level, I'm not just going in detail for this formula. Just I'm defining mCp delta T. What is what? Next. So same example, heat gain through wall, heat gain through glass, etc. We can consider as a sensible. And this is very, very important. Throughout the load calculation, when we deal with all possible sources, we'll check whether the source is conduction, convection, radiation, or only conduction, or it's a mixed mode, plus whether it's a sensible only or sensible plus latent. According to that, we have a calculation. Okay, so very, very basic. To deal with the manual load calculation. Manual load calculation you can consider as a basic for the software load calculation. So it's a process. Okay, next we'll talk about the latent heat. Simple. You see, latent heat refers to the heat energy absorbed or released during a phase change of a substance, such as melting or boiling. For example, consider the same case. A container with the water. I'm adding the heat. Suppose initial temperature is 0 degrees centigrade. And that reaches to 100 degrees centigrade now. So what happened at 100 degrees centigrade? Further, the temperature will not increase because the boiling point of water is 100 degrees. But still I'm adding the heat. So where that heat goes?
Phase change.
Yes, that heat is utilized to change the phase. And that heat is called latent heat. So remember, sensible heat means adding or extracting the heat without change of phase, but the temperature will change. But remember, latent heat means at constant temperature, change of phase. When you continuously add the heat is a latent. So the important point is, first point is latent heat means this is for change of phase from solid to liquid, from liquid to vapor, or vice versa. And the second important point, whenever the starting to end change of phase, the temperature is going to be constant. At 100 degree only the starting of vaporization, and at that temperature only complete water will convert to vapor. Or for example, if you take a ice at 0 degrees centigrade and adding the heat, what will happen? Start melting at 0 degree. Till the completion of melting, it's going to be at 0 degree only. And after that change of phase into liquid, then further if you had, it increase the temperature to 1 degree, 2 degree, etc. up to 100. Again at 100, it's going to be constant till the conversion process from liquid to vapor. Okay, so latent heat means this is related to change of phase, and second point is at constant temperature. You see, latent heat refers to the heat energy absorbed or released during a phase change of a substance, such as melting, vaporizing, or condensation. Vaporizing means vapor to liquid. Condensation means, sorry, my mistake. Vaporizing means liquid to vapor. And condensation means vapor to liquid, reverse. So it is important to note that during a phase change, the temperature of the substance remain constant, even though the heat is added or removed. Okay, so this is very important, and this concept will also use at the time of vapor compression cycle. You see, when the change of phase from vapor to liquid in condenser because of rejection of heat equal to latent heat at constant temperature. Similarly, change of phase from liquid to vapor in evaporator because of extracting the heat equal to latent heat at constant temperature again. So this concept, sensible latent, first we'll use in vapor compression cycle, then will you also use in load calculation, because if you talk about load calculation, one example, heat gain through ventilation. What do you think? Is it only sensible or sensible plus latent or only latent?
Sensible plus latent.
Yes, sensible plus latent. Why sensible plus latent? Because heat gain through ventilation means outside air. And remember, air means what? Fluid. But with respect to psychometric,
Dryer plus moisture.
yes, it's air means, if I use the term air means, by default I'm talking about the moisture. The moisture means dry air. Dry air refers to the sensible and the moisture is refers to the latent, because that moisture we need to extract and condense on the cooling coil to decrease that humidity level in the space. So that condensation is required. So the change of phase, and that change of phase means that the moisture inside the space, you're going to condense on the cooling coil. Again, that change of phase comes at a latent. Okay, so this sensible latent will use throughout the load calculation. Okay, as per this type of source. Yeah, so the same, you will find the formula also for this latent. You see Q equal to ml. So where Q is latent heat here, and M is a mass, and L is a latent heat of the substance. And this latent heat of the substance you'll get from the table, like 335 kilojoules per kg for ice. Similarly, for different substance, you'll find this value that we'll use at the time of load calculation. So this level, just memorize this formula. The application side, you'll find the modifiers formulas as per the source of heat gain. Further, if you talk about this latent heat, as I said, this change of phase, the change of phase can be liquid to vapor, or can be this, can be solid to the liquid, and can be this liquid to the vapor. So you see, this is divided into two. First is a latent heat of fusion. Fusion means what? Solid to liquid. This different term is given. If the change of phase from solid to liquid, we used to call latent heat of fusion. If it is from liquid to gas, we used to call latent heat of vaporization. Next, for learning point of view, here you see application point of view, heat gain through ventilation, infiltration, people is the example of sensible plus latent. Remember, the source can be only sensible or can be sensible plus latent. We don't have an option for only latent in case of source of heat gain. Okay, so in this table or in this figure, you can find increase in X direction is a heat content, nothing but enthalpy. And in Y direction, you can consider temperature in degree centigrade as well as in degree Fahrenheit. And this line represents the state of, say, water, this blue color line. Okay, starting from here. So now you can notice at 32 degree Fahrenheit or 0 degree centigrade, the state of water, I'm considering example as water. So the state of water is what? Solid or liquid?
Solid.
One minute. Yeah, solid, right? And now below that temperature, below the 0 degree, suppose if I consider this same minus 17.8, so solid. Okay, you see 0 degree Fahrenheit or 17 minus 17.8 degree centigrade. This is solid. So you see, thus adding, just for example, assume that I'm adding heat to this solid, nothing but ice. So what will happen? Slowly the temperature increases and the heat also added. But you see, this solid is going to be in solid only. But at this point, which is melting temperature or the freezing temperature of water, after this temperature, further if you add the heat, what will happen?
Phase change.
The conversion process start. It means, you see, this phase can I consider as sensible? No change in phase, no? Adding the heat and increasing the temperature, but no change in phase. But at 32 degree Fahrenheit or 0 degree centigrade, further if you add the heat, what will happen? The conversion process start. Means the melting of start from 0.2, and the complete melting is done at 0.3. So this phase is, or this heat is called what? Latent heat. And this 144 BTU is for what? I'm considering 1 pound of water. So it means for 1 pound of water, if you want to convert from solid to liquid, how much heat amount is required in terms of BTU? 144. In metric system, you'll find the different values. This is English system, 144 BTU. It means when you add 144 BTU in 1 pound of ice, that will convert to water. So this much of heat energy is required based on the experiment. Okay, so 0.223 is what? Latent, means change of phase. And now you can notice that change of phase, the line is horizontal. Is there any increase in vertical? No, it means, you know this, This is a proof na. This change of phase at what? At constant temperature. This is an important point. That's the reason I'm showing this. So the change of phase at constant temperature. So if you are adding the heat, but that heat is not utilizing to increase the temperature that is used to change the phase. So now at 0.3, it's completely in liquid. Further, if you add the heat, what will happen?
Rise of temperature.
What will happen? The temperature increases. Temperature also increases. So you see 0.3 to 0.4, you can consider increase in temperature without changing of phase. And you can notice this inclined line. Inclined line means increase in temperature as well as in heat. In case of latent, the temperature will not increase, but in case of sensible, the temperature increases, adding the heat. Okay, so here inclined line represent what? Sensible. And how much BTUs are required? 180 BTUs required in order to means heat up that water up to what? Up to the boiling point. And you know 200, this 212 degree Fahrenheit or 100 degree centigrade is what? Is a boiling point of water. No? So at this point, now the water is ready to evaporate. So this phase we can consider as sensible because adding the heat will increase the temperature without changing phase. Next at 0.4, further if you add the heat, what will happen? The temperature will not increase. The change of phase start. Again change of phase start, you can see 4.4 to 5. There is no change in the temperature. So you know it's a latent heat. And as per the experiment, we have this 970 BTU. If you add that heat, so the complete water can vaporize to liquid, and the amount of water is, for calculation point of view, are considering as 1 pound. Now at 0.4, the state of water is what? It is completely in gas. It is in vapor. Na? Further, if you add the heat, what will happen? The temperature of the vapor increases. We can call, say, superheated steam or superheated gas. So you see at 0.5, completely it is in vapor state, means gas state. Further, if you add the heat, gas, the vapor in the vapor state only is in the gas state, but the temperature increases. Again, that we can call as a sensible. And why I'm focusing on this topic? Because at the time of vapor compression cycle, we'll use all this information. Because in vapor compression cycle, at the time of condensation, release the rejection of heat equal to latent heat, then only the change of phase. And at the time of evaporation in evaporator, again extraction of heat equal to latent heat, then only the change of phase will happen. Okay, so that's the reason this topic is important. And based on the vapor compression cycle only, we have this chapter 5. This classification of machines means the classification of air conditioners, different air conditioning, and works on the vapor compression cycle. If we talk about all commercial and residential air conditioning systems, that works on VCR, means vapor compression cycle. We have vapor absorption, we have this Trolux, or we have this air system, different cycle in actual practice, but most commonly in actual practice for commercial and residential air conditioning system, including the refrigeration, you'll find VCR. Okay.
Just 1 minute, sir.
Yes.
How it is related to the vapor compression cycle, this latent heat and this?
I've given the example in the condenser, change of phase, right? If you already know, you can relate. If someone don't know, don't worry. We have a separate topic in detail for vapor compression cycle. In vapor compression cycle, we have this condenser as well as evaporator, and both are heat exchanger. Na? So in condenser, what will happen? The change of phase from this gas to liquid. And whenever change of phase means that substance must reject the heat equal to latent heat. Okay. So in that sense, this is important for vapor compression cycle. Similarly for evaporator side also, the case is same but reverse. Extraction of heat and change of phase from liquid to vapor. Again, by extracting the heat equal to latent heat.
Okay. That means in condenser, no temperature of rise, only phase change will occur, right?
Yes, at the time of rejection of heat equal to latent, means in case of change of phase means the temperature is going to be same. But don't worry, I'll explain in detail about vapor cycle. We have a detailed topic, if possible today only. If not, we'll deal with in the next session. Because without that, you cannot think for this classification of air conditioning. Even in chill water, in chillers, you'll find a vapor compression cycle. You have vapor absorption cycle, vapor absorption chillers also. Commonly in actual practice, the compact type compared to vapor absorption is a vapor compression cycle chillers. We have topic in detail. So at this level, just focus on this topic so that we can use at the time of vapor compression cycle. Okay. So got the idea online about this sensible and latent heat.